Hello everybody and welcome back to Anti-MLM Vlogmas Day 2 and to the 15 truths about network marketing that 90% of the participants just learn too late. Welcome to another Anti-MLM Vlogmas video. It is day 2. Today we're going to open the second door of the Adventskalender, which is always exciting. It's kind of a German tradition. I actually think it is a German tradition that was designed specifically for the children, that the time until Christmas doesn't feel too long. So until Christmas, they're able to open up little gifts, little treats here and there. And it's also exciting for the adults. And we actually do that within the family as well. We do create these Adventskalenders ourselves and then we gift it to each other. I mean, sometimes, some years, and also to the adults, but of course, specifically to the kids. And it's really a lot of fun and they're really excited. I am excited about Adventskalender and I'm an old woman. All right, I'm excited about that. So maybe you do open Adventskalender as well. Let me know what was in door number 2. I'd be excited to know because it's not just for children. That's just my humble opinion, of course. But today, behind door number 2 of this digital Adventskalender, we will talk about the 15 brutal truths about network marketing that 90% learn too late. You're in for a treat for various reasons, and we will get started with that right away. This is a post from a network marketer, and I see a lot of these lately, where network marketers put out this informative kind of content, what is truthful about network marketing, and why people just misunderstand it or learn it too late, and that is why they're either not successful or they don't understand why network marketing is so beautiful. And I do believe that network marketers have to put this type of content out because it's a shitty business opportunity where most people across all network marketing companies lose money. And that is why when you're in a company like this, you cannot be truthful, you cannot be honest, that making a lot of effort, working hard is just one small portion of why some people are successful in network marketing, because otherwise they would have to admit that it's a system that was designed to fail for most people. It is, in my opinion, a tool to cheer up the people and to get hooked into the people even more on their teams, to show them how great network marketing is and why they need to love it and why they need to appreciate it, but also to maybe get one poor sucker who maybe is doubtful about network marketing and heard why it is such a bad opportunity. But this is a person who has allegedly made it, and that person presents truths or hard truth. No, brutal truth. It's gonna be even worse. Brutal truth. And we can learn from that. And if you follow that person's guidance, then maybe you could be successful. I guess that is the setup because I've seen those posts a lot lately. And we will go into the brutal truth number 1. 80% of people quit within their first year, usually before they've even learned the basics. You're not able to learn the basics in network marketing? That is concerning. Why do so many network marketers leave early before the year mark, according to her? Is because they cannot afford to pay into a system for over a year before they even see a profit. And how bad of a job do the almighty and all-knowing uplines do when they cannot teach their teammates, their recruits, the people they invited into this business opportunity, the basics quickly when they know that 80% will leave within a year? Allegedly. I mean, there's a certain level of urgency. Why not cater to that? If you're that great of an upline and you know it all, then it's also your job to teach the people you invite into this opportunity, to teach them what they need to know and to guide them along. Because if you pitch this to people who have no clue about sales, who have no clue about network marketing, but allegedly everybody can do it, then as the almighty, all-knowing upline, it is also your job to do your job and to guide those people. But even in that case, I would suspect it's not possible to create success stories beyond the year mark. When people pay into the system and it doesn't pay them back, then they will leave. Thank God. Top earners talk to 20 to 30 people a day. The average rep talks to 2. Are there any sources? Can we quote any sources? Can we display that? Because where do those numbers come from? But let's take this for face value, as we have to with a lot of network marketing posts like this. So the top people are at the top because they are putting in the work and they're talking to more people to get more no's to then eventually get a yes. Whereas the average rep, whatever that means, who is not a top earner, I guess, they only talk to 2. And that is this myth that the people who are at the top in a network marketing company, they are the hardest worker. They reach out to more people, they work around the clock, they do the uncomfortable things, and the other people, they're just comfortable, which couldn't be further from the truth. A lot of people also watching these videos said, I was in a network marketing company and I busted my ass. And nothing ever came out of it, but I was shamed because I wasn't putting in the work. But I was posting regularly, I was doing what my upline wanted me to do, but it didn't work out. And I don't have the ability to finance such a thing with my full-time job that is supposed to pay my bills, but I actually paid into a system that didn't pay me back for the products, for the conferences, for all of the expenses surrounding network marketing. So this is this myth of I'm the most successful person, I'm at the top because I put in the work. There are a lot of reasons why people are at the top that they don't want to address. Retention is king. It costs 5 times more to replace a customer than to keep one. So what she's saying here is that it's worth to put in the work to keep the customers you already have instead of getting the new ones. And you have to work a lot to keep your recruits and your customers. Although she's speaking about customers, but let's face it, it's also about recruits. Maybe if that is truly the case, then you should teach your team that early, since so many leave network marketing early. Once again, I would say that there is a certain level of urgency here, also of the all-knowing, almighty uplines to teach their teams. Teach them early what customer service looks like. Most people treat it like a side hobby effort equals side hobby income. That is such a nasty, nasty narrative, and that is this hobby narrative. Promote it like that and start and see side money. So if you want it to be a hobby, then you will only see hobby money. If it's supposed to be a side hustle and you put in effort the way you would with a side hustle, then it's side hustle money. But if you treat it like a full-time job, then it will become a full-time income for you as well, which could be true to a certain degree because realistically, if you have more time to spend on something full-time, then you also have more time to reach out to people, try and sell, try and recruit, and be active in that community and learn more. But this is something that is being pitched to people who don't have a lot of money, who already have a job or multiple jobs, and they simply don't have the time to put into something that might not pay them back, that might be an income in the future. They need to work on that allegedly so wonderful avenue within the pockets of their time, a couple of hours here or there. That is what network marketing recruits get taught all the time. It is okay. You can start out as a side hustle. You can try to supplement your income. You can make your gas bill work. You can take care of the groceries. You can support your family. So don't pitch to these people in those instances. If you say that most people don't make a lot of money because they treat it like a hobby, then once again, putting that back on people like this who are posting stuff like this, then why do you recruit the people who just want to treat it like a hobby, allegedly? Then why don't you start and actually recruit the people who want to do a full-time income and who want to do a full-time job? Once again, putting that back on the almighty uplines. But they need to recruit people, a lot of people. That's how they can potentially pay their bills. The network marketing companies are crumbling, but they will recruit everybody and their mother. So pay attention to who really wants to do this as a full-time job and not the hobbyists. Your success is 20% skill and 80% showing up consistently, even on the boring days. So work 24/7 for a meager outcome. Sign me up. 80 to 90% of your income will come from repeat customers, not one-off sales. Are you sure about that? Because 80 to 90% of your income, if you're at the top of the pyramid in network marketing, will very likely come from your team. Chelsea Cece Suarez has Monat videos where she goes through that information when Monat didn't secure their revenue reports and it was publicly available on Google to people who were able to pull out that data. The people at the top made most of their money, far over 90%, based on their team's efforts, based on recruitment and not on sales. So it doesn't matter that you sell to 80 or 90% of the people who are returning customers or to a handful of people who are one-off sales. You need to build a big team. And that is something we're never mentioning here. The success in network marketing is not with selling to customers. It is with building a big team and profiting off of the efforts of that team. It's about recruitment, not about sales. Now, this is the 7th brutal truth. Duplication beats talent. If your team can't copy what you do, you'll always be stuck. So team building is essential. You recruit those who recruit, and so on and so forth. And you can do that 13 to 15 cycles until, in theory, you would have recruited planet Earth, the population of planet Earth. Yeah, once again, sign me up. Leads go cold in 24 to 48 hours. Follow up fast or lose them forever. Wow, that is so dramatic. Once again, there's a certain level of urgency in network marketing. You cannot give people time to think about it. Work 24/7. In a way, in my opinion, justify burnout, because once you've been able to get a lead, you need to be on their ass all the time, and you need to work. It doesn't matter what is going on in your life. You need to catch up with them really, really quickly, and there is no time to relax. Yet again, sign me up. Brutal truth number 9. Most prospects need 5 to 7 exposures before they say yes. Stop expecting day 1 signups. I think there's some truth in this, because people very likely will have to take a look at you multiple times, like you, then purchase from you. This is also a narrative, in my opinion, to excuse harassment of people, because no doesn't mean no in a network marketing company. That's what a lot of distributors teach. It just means not right now, when in reality a no is a no. And if you're not a good salesperson, then you cannot close a lot of deals. You should do better the next time and actually have a good sales approach. No means no, but that is something that a lot of network marketers don't see like that. They need to continue to reach out to people, pitch them the opportunities, sometimes for years, and they take that narrative way too far. And that, in my opinion, is harassment. Number 10, the average closing rate in sales is 2%. Top closers in network marketing hit 10% plus. Once again, what kind of a hard truth is that supposed to be? You're better at the job than the poor suckers at the bottom of the pyramid? Sources. Could we hear sources yet again? What kind of a brutal truth is that supposed to be? And we're lacking completely any background information, if that is even truthful. But it's a way for the top people to flatter themselves because they're better at closing deals, which I don't think is wrong. Because if you're in a network marketing company, although it's not about the product, you're also a salesperson. And some people are better at sales than others. Recruitment fills your pipeline. Retention fills your bank account. Okay, so we're talking about recruitment versus retention. And that, in my opinion, is a justification yet again to say you have to work. You have to work a lot. Recruit the people, but then you also need to keep the people, because that way they are filling up your bank account. Yet again, admitting, in my opinion, it's about team building. It's about recruiting. And it's not about selling to others. It's a justification that you need to work 24/7, because you can recruit people, but if the people don't stay on your team, if they don't do a lot, if they fall off, you have to get new recruits and new recruits and new recruits. And that sounds like a very, very sad existence, in my opinion, when you can never stop working. Number 12, your team will copy your actions, not your words. If you're not working, neither are they. So is that a justification that you need to work? What happened to work now? Lay low later. And I don't think that it is a bad thing to say if you're a leader, or you consider yourself a leader, or you're a team lead, or you have responsibility for people. You should be the one who goes first with a good example, and then people will be able to copy that. But in network marketing, I would be very careful yet again about these statements, because it's just a justification that you need to work. Your team will copy that. But then again, that doesn't match with the pitch that we hear all the time. Put in the work now, create generational wealth, and get paid. Well, you don't have to do a lot of work anymore. Create a big enough team, recruit all the people in the world, and then you don't have to work as much. That is what the ultimate pitch is in network marketing. Put in the work now and reap the benefits in the long run. Or are you going to do that if you still have to work 24/7, even though you're at the top of the pyramid? Social media is your shop window post daily where people forget you exist. Social media is a beast, and you need to feed it daily. Once again, it just shows me that you don't have any time off. If you utilize social media, what a lot of marketers, most network marketers in this day and age have to do, and it's also a convenient tool to reach out to more people, then you won't have a single day off. It really sounds like a miserable business opportunity. Save this for the day you feel like quitting and read it twice. That's it. That's truth number 14. Save it when it gets hard and read it again multiple times. Well, in that case, my brutal truth is that you cannot count. Those were only 13 brutal truths, right? Let's go through this. All right, that was the cover. That's not a brutal truth. That's the entryway into the brutal truth about network marketing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this could be considered 14, but save it for the day when it gets hard. Those were only 13 brutal truths. The cover is not a brutal truth. The save it is not a brutal truth. You could argue maybe the latest slide was also a brutal truth, that you need to save positive information and you show it to yourself when times got rough. But then in those cases, it wasn't 15. You cannot do math. It was either 13 or 14, depending on how you want to count. Well, that's embarrassing. Those were the 15 brutal truths that were actually 13. This is silly. This is really a silly and lousy attempt to try and counteract why network marketing has such a bad name, or is just misunderstood, and because you don't understand it, I have to clarify it. And it's a bad business model. But the network marketers who are at the top, they cannot admit that, and that's why I believe we have posts like this. With 13 brutal truths. Well, learn counting and then do that again. But there's also a text attached to this, and we will go through that baby as well. Are you as excited as I am? Maybe she explains why she only listed 13 truths. Nope, she doesn't. Maybe it's not a scam. Maybe you just don't understand it. Hello. 1980 is there and they want their old pitches back. It's not a scam. It's a scam. When you pretend that this is a great business opportunity, but most people across the board lose money, but you pretend it is not, then it's a scam. And it's yet again this narrative that outsiders, they don't understand it. People don't understand it. But she didn't really shine a light. She didn't show any sources. She didn't really make it easy for her audience to now understand network marketing better. I believe I do have a good understanding of network marketing at this point, and she didn't convince me. It's funny how people will happily spend 40k pound on a degree that doesn't guarantee a job, but call a business a scam because it has an entry fee smaller than a night out. No, that's not why it's called a scam. First of all, getting an education, getting a degree, if it's in British pounds, then she is in Great Britain. It doesn't cost that much in most European countries. I know other countries are not as fortunate, but public education, public universities, great universities across Europe, they're free. You don't spend 40k on that. And you do have a better opportunity. Although you don't get a guaranteed job, you learn something and you learn tools that you then can develop in a job later. And yes, your pay very much, especially in the beginning, also depends what kind of a degree you have. No job guarantees, no, but you learn a lot of skills. Going to the university was one of the most fun times for me. That is a huge privilege and I'm very, very grateful. I loved being at the university because I learned how to organize my life. I learned how to organize my studies. I have a master's degree and I didn't study a bachelor. I think that was the first year when you were able to also decide you could study a bachelor degree or you could get a master's degree. I loved the freedom I had. It's not for everybody, but those are the skills that I was able to use over my career, which is a long career at this point and a rather successful career as well, not specifically because of the subjects I studied, but the entire surrounding. I mean, granted, among others, I also studied English, and that's quite helpful, I think, in this day and age. There are also other languages, Spanish, Chinese, Asian languages that could be super helpful. All of that can set you up for success. It is a myth, it's a narrative that only network marketers and other scammers will put out when they try to sell you something that benefits them, that a classic education is not helpful. Of course it is, whatever that might look like for you. But you don't call network marketing a scam because the entry fee is smaller than a night out. It is a business model where most people, proven, lose money. That is a scam. When you offer people a business opportunity alleging that they can make it to the top, but you don't present them with all the facts, why that will very likely not happen, why most people will financially fail, then that is a scam. Network marketing is just word of mouth marketing with a commission attached. No, it is not. And she also said it. You need to post a lot on social media 24/7. The commission is attached when you're able to sell a product. But where does the true money lie? Let's all say it together. It is not in the sales of the products. It is in recruitment. Thank you. You're doing an amazing job. The same thing you do when you recommend your favorite Netflix show or restaurant, except here you get paid for it. No, you only get paid if you're able to sell the products or the service, not when you recommend them. Every major brand uses it. Ever heard of an affiliate link? A referral code? A loyalty card? Somebody triggered? Congratulations, you've already been part of it just without the check. Except that that's not the case because you're not doing affiliate marketing. You're not sharing an affiliate link. You can do affiliate marketing for free. You sign up for certain services for free. They might check if you actually have a social media account, if you should get a personalized link, and that way you can get commission, and you don't have any prior investment into this. In network marketing, you always do. I only know to this day of one network marketing company that does not require an entry fee, just as a general rule, but you're still required to get a lot of the products, not because the compensation plan demands it. Others have to pay entrance fees, business kits, product kits. You will spend a lot of money on the products and all of the things surrounding network marketing, and that is why so many people end up in debt in network marketing. It is not free. You have to pay a pretty penny to even try this for most part. Here's the kicker. Oh, she does speak a little bit like me. Hello, spirit animal. In a network marketing company, I'm the outside spirit animal. The direct sales industry did over 180 billion in global sales last year. So if you think it's not real, you're basically saying billions of dollars and millions of people don't exist. No, there is a certain amount of money flowing within network marketing. I do not know if those numbers are factually true because, yet again, we're not posting any sources because we're simply not doing that. How is the money being distributed? What countries, what companies, what people? Is it distributed across all network marketers equally? No, it's the top people who benefit. It's the network marketing companies who also benefit. We're always forgetting these. We did over this and that in global sales last year, but what is your profit? What is the end result at the end of that? Companies need to make a profit, then the people within the scam, within the network marketing field, they also get their commissions, their team overrides. All of those things make that extremely pricey, but who really benefits? It's just a handful of people. So to say it's $180 billion in sales globally last year across direct sales company just shows what a shitty business model it is when most people lose money. Then where does the money go? To the few people at the top, so shut up. The only real difference in this industry, you're not just the customer. Well, you're the predominant customer. You can be the owner too. No, you can never be the owner. Because the owners of network marketing companies are the owners. And you're not. The next time you call it a scam, I call it a scam, read the above truth about the industry and ask yourself again, do you actually understand it? Or are you just parroting the opinion of someone who's never earned a penny from it either? You mean the 15 brutal truths that are actually 13? It's kind of embarrassing because I'm not parroting that. I actually counted that. You're not parroting the opinion of someone else. It's obvious. The facts are out there. I was able to defute and to talk about each and every point that she mentioned there, and she is not showing us any sources. I don't know what network marketing company she is in. Most people in that network marketing company, if they have an income disclosure statement, very likely have lost money. How about parroting that? Because repeating bad information doesn't make you informed, it just makes you loud and wrong. Said the woman who spread 13 brutal truth about network marketing without citing any sources. It's not about repeating bad information that really doesn't make you informed. It's about shining a light on the bad business model that network marketing is. And I will link some sources down below if you're interested in that as well. From the FTC, here is the information why most people in network marketing lose money, the percentage of that in product-based network marketing companies. You're welcome. That is not parroting, and that is also not bad information repeated. It is showing proof. Maybe start with that. And also add 2 brutal truths about network marketing, because then we can talk about a post about 15 brutal truths. I would highly recommend that. Well, that was a doozy behind the digital Anti-MLM Vlogmas Advents Calendar, door number 2. Can you imagine? That would be like me saying, well, I will post until the 24th of December, but then I will just stop on the 13th. Am I an asshole? Yes, I am, but rightfully so. For somebody claiming that they understand network marketing so well, but then they cannot even come up with 15 truths. Looks like somebody is parroting somebody else here, and I don't think it is me. I hope you did like this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, that way you won't miss out on the daily uploads of Vlogmas, at least until the 24th. I haven't decided yet if I'm able to continue afterwards, but you will for sure see 24 Anti-MLM Vlogmas videos here. They're stumbling over my words. You will for sure see 24 Anti-MLM Vlogmas videos, and now after this post, I will make sure I will count that meticulously, because we're not stopping on day 23. If you like this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!